This video is for entertainment purposes only. None of the information you're about to hear should be considered medical advice, and you should always consult a licensed medical practitioner before embarking on a health or lifestyle change. What's going on, everyone? Just Jason here. Welcome to a Thursday night Thrive stream, as we're calling it. Hopefully you're all having a good week and a good night, and getting closer and closer to the holidays, as it was. I guess Christmas is just a week away now, so if it's something you celebrate, then everyone must be getting excited, especially the kids and the grandkids. So yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well this evening. Let's get caught up in the chat. We were having a fun discussion before we even started here, so we'll say hi to everyone. Michael was early in the door. Lynn's here. Brenda was here before the stream started as well. It's good to see you, Brenda. Dr. John Smith is patiently impatient, waiting for the completion of the holiday video series where I'm doing a advent calendar puzzle. So it's just a little section of it each day leading up till the 24th. So everyone will have to wait until the 24th to see the entire puzzle finished, but we're almost there. We're getting down to the last week. So let's see who else came in here. Scratching PPA's in the house. Everyone's asking if I'll do a live stream putting a puzzle together, and I don't know. It's one of those things where it probably bore everyone crazy. The nice thing about this advent calendar puzzle that I'm doing, if you haven't seen it, is that it's basically just, I think it's like 45 or 46 pieces each day, and it's all in a specific section of the puzzle. So it's not like you're trying to do a full 1,000-piece puzzle where you could have pieces that go anywhere in it. So it's kind of concentrated, so it makes it a lot easier to do. So if you don't if you're not too confident with puzzles, or you find them frustrating, doing an advent, I would definitely suggest trying an advent calendar puzzle, because it makes it a lot easier and a lot less frustrating. I had a few moments with this one that I did that, for instance, a couple of days, pieces got stuck in its little box and I didn't notice, and I finished the section and I was missing a piece. And that was when I realized that pieces were stuck in the box. One day a piece jumped up onto the finished part of the puzzle and I didn't notice, and I took forever to find it. And just weird things. But for the most part, if you're sort of not really into puzzles, I think these advent calendar puzzles are a good way to just have some fun with it, and I just got this one off of Amazon. It was really cheap. And there's hundreds of them out there. So you could do one every year, which is what we've been doing. We have 4 or 5 here now. My wife's been doing them every year for quite a while. And I bought this one to do for the series so that she can now, and, disclaimer alert, I did all of the recording of this video series in November and just posted it all to be released in December. So she's been doing that puzzle all throughout December as a new puzzle. So it's one of those things where you and your friends could trade puzzles every year and just do a new one. Yeah, so 24-hour live stream doing a puzzle that if it was a 1,000-piece regular puzzle, that even 24 hours probably wouldn't get us too far. But like I was saying, maybe I could use one of the puzzles with the bigger pieces, maybe, and cheat a little bit. But no cheating, as Lynn says. And Dr. John Smith is here. Tried to do a jigsaw puzzle of John Cena, but it was just an all-white background. Yeah. Greenland Quilter Katie is here. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming to the live stream. Last week was the sort of second edition of the Homestead Hangout, where we had a few other channels on the live stream. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that, getting to know, if you didn't know Matt and Mouse and Loretta and Jason and then Thompson, if you didn't know them before, hopefully you got to know some new creators. They're all good friends of mine, and they all put out great content. JC Calamity Jane is here. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Yeah, puzzle days have gone surprisingly fast for sure. Probably mic'd up watching a live stream of a jigsaw puzzle would be serious ASMR. Yeah, I guess. But what would we talk about? I would watch. We love puzzles here, though it may drive me nuts if you don't pick the pieces I need you to. Rewatching, I watched, it was funny. We watched a couple of episodes with my grandkids when they were over here, because they get a kick out of watching videos of mine on YouTube. And so we were all sitting downstairs on the couch watching this video of me put the puzzle pieces in, and just pretty much all at the same time, we're like, that piece goes there, that piece goes there. You could tell, you could see it on the screen. Okay, you need this piece, dummy. It goes over here. So yeah, I can totally get what you're saying there for sure. Pasha D613 is in the house. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. We've got Kevin from Tuber Chat here. Thanks all for joining me tonight. Like I say, it's just a Thursday night Thrive stream, as we're calling it. I can't remember who sort of came up with that idea, but I definitely like the way it sounds. But it was one of you that came up with this idea for that name. So that's what I've been going with lately. Let's see if anyone else has come in. Thanks for the share, Kevin. I appreciate it. I rather like doing different things every day for Advent. Just something different to do. Yep, for sure. Feral Grandma's here. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. People are watching live streams of names being written down. People will watch puzzles. True enough. Yeah, it's it is kind of crazy what people will watch. That is for sure. Makes me want to live stream watching a live stream. Yeah. Matt Mouse is here. Thanks for coming in. If you haven't watched the video I put out the other night with the first spin of the Wheel of Regret, if you may have seen a post that I put up a few weeks ago asking for suggestions from the audience for weird, ingredients to put into chaffles. I had a few responses on that post. Matt and Mouse suggested, or I don't know if they were suggesting it as part of the series, but they had asked if I had ever done curry chaffles, which I haven't, but I have wanted to try to make curry chaffles, specifically curry chicken, because I think that would really work well in a chaffle. So I put Matt and Mouse's suggestion on the Wheel of Regret, and their suggestion was the first one to be chosen by the wheel. So that will be the first video in that series. If anyone wants to suggest some other ingredients, you can find that post on my community tab, and just post up there. I'll make sure that we add any new suggestions to the wheel whenever they come through. Coach Julia Edens is in the house. Thank you for coming by. Just got off with Kilts and Chafee. Cool. Yeah, not a bad idea. Live streaming, watching a live stream. Yeah, it's funny, Lynn. I think when I first, like quite a while ago, they actually found my videos just by themselves. I think I remember hearing a story that my one grandson called his mother into the house and said, "Hey, Papa's on the screen." So they found him by themselves. So that was really cool. So, but yeah, they do enjoy watching them. So Henry Leslie of Vermont is here. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Let's make sure we're not missing everyone. Everyone just saying hi to each other. Amy, Rockin' Coach Amy is here. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully everyone's having a good week. Sort of busy, I'm sure, before the holidays. Amy was with Juliet over with Kilts and Chafee. It's good to see you both. I wasn't supposed to be in there. Oh, we won't tell anyone, Amy. Need to fill that wheel up with ideas. Yep. Like I say, the more ideas, the better. I'm always up for doing weird ingredients in chaffles. I think a lot of it's getting not redundant, but it's, it seems like the weirder the chaffles, the better sort of attention it gets. So bring it on. If I can get the ingredient, then, I'll pretty much try it. So Tiffany is here. Thanks for coming in, Tiffany. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Pete. Appreciate that. Yeah, the Wheel of Regret has begun its journey picking new ingredients for some chaffle videos. Yeah. So yeah, we can definitely do something to do a collab, Juliet. It's once you get the hang of doing chaffles, they're always pretty easy. After that, then it's a matter of trying to find everything that you can make into a chaffle, which is sort of the rabbit hole that I've been down for the last 2 years. So, let's see. I want to make sure we're not missing anything. Amy has a question. What are your thoughts on all the new YouTube algorithms and the use of Gemini? Do you really think thumbnails and tags no longer matter? To be honest with you, Amy, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. For the last sort of month, it's almost sort of ever since I went on holidays, nothing in my content is getting any kind of attention whatsoever. It's been sort of going slowly that way for quite a while. It's one of those things where you have to kind of look at what's changed and if you're doing anything different. One thing I have been doing different, you mentioned Gemini, is that I've been using Gemini to help generate titles and descriptions, not thumbnails so much. I just make my own thumbnails in Canva, but I have been using Gemini for the last little bit, just to give me some ideas, and then I sort of change them to fit what I'm doing. So that's one thing I've been doing differently in the last little bit. And then the one thing I noticed, and I talked to Kevin from Tuber Chat about this briefly, is that I had a couple of videos that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, wound up with 1,000 views in a couple of days. And I was like, okay, well, what's going on? And they weren't new videos. They were old videos. So I'm like, well, what's going on with these videos? Like, that doesn't, it's not unheard of, but it's just crazy that it was happening. And I was like, well, what's going on here, sort of thing. So I looked into it, and the algorithm, the analytics was saying it was from YouTube advertising. which I'm not sure what that really is, other than YouTube just putting your videos in as advertising on other people's videos. And it seems like ever since that started happening, my regular content, the engagement with that content has just taken a nosedive. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but yeah, like I say, I'm not exactly sure. I thought I had some sort of idea what was going on with the YouTube algorithm, and had things working out pretty good. And we were at one point this year, we were, every single week, every Chaffle video was getting 1,000 views, 2,000 views. And now we're down to 100 on every video. And, I don't, as far as this month goes in this sort of holiday video series, I'm not, the results I've seen from it so far is exactly what I was expecting from it, because unfortunately with the random kind of content that I put on this channel doesn't really get that much attention. So it's doing basically what I expected it to, but it's definitely not helping the channel. Let's just put it that way. So I saw a couple of things here I want to mention. First off, Coach Juliet Edens gifted 10 memberships. That is amazing. Thank you for doing that, and congratulations to all the new members. That is amazing. And then John followed that up with another membership. That is just crazy. Thanks for doing that, guys. It's definitely not necessarily, but I definitely do appreciate the support from everyone here. I've been trying to bring some fun new stuff, and that's what this whole Wheel of Regret series about, is just to try and bring new stuff to the fans of the channel, kind of thing. So again, thanks so much for doing that. PSA, I've been finding packs of Keto Chow for $2.50 on Amazon Haul over the past few weeks. It came up with a recipe that gets 6 chaffles out of a pack if you like Keto Chow. Cool. Yeah, I've not looked at Amazon for Keto Chow. Yeah, and normally here you can buy it from Switch Grocery. That's the only place you can buy it directly in Canada, and it's expensive for a single pack. It's just crazy. We noticed a marginal increase in views and subs after the change. That's the only thing. Yeah. And it is been weird over here on this channel. It is kind of, I like I say, I'm kind of at a loss to explain what happened. It's just, I don't know. I have some theories in my head, but I'm not going to talk about them because they're just theories of what may be going on in the background. But I don't want to get into that negativity. So what's on my Christmas list? I'm not really even sure. I don't really have a Christmas list necessarily. I want to, if I was going to be looking for anything from, my wife and I exchange one gift a year kind of thing. It's usually just, I don't know. I've got these cheapo Sony like wired headphones, so I'm looking to replace those with like some wireless headphones. But aside from that, I don't usually put together Christmas lists or anything. It's just, I much prefer just being able to spend time with like my grandkids and being able to spoil them and get them lots of fun stuff. But I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't know what's fun out there anymore. Nora, the Stock Explorer's in the house. Thanks for coming in, Nora. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all of you being here on a Thursday night, a week before Christmas, and a week or less than a week until the 24 days of puzzles is done. So Dr. John will be able to get to see the final results in less than a week. So I will put together, I haven't done it yet. It won't take me long, but I will put together a final, weekly recap of the video or of the puzzle and put that out at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night. And then I've already got posted a, finale recap video that will premiere at 8 o'clock, I think, 7:30 or 8 p.m. Eastern on Christmas Eve. Again, just to say thank you. I like, most of these videos haven't been premiered. I like to premiere my videos so that I can hang out with all of you in the chat kind of thing. But none of the daily videos have been premiered because I didn't want to commit to doing that and then not be able to do it. So on Christmas Eve, we'll do that full recap video. So that's days 1 to 24, all in one video, nicely sped up so that people don't get too bored. So that series is quickly coming to an end, probably quicker than any of us anticipated it, but yeah. And Feral Grandma says they're going on a hog hunt. That sounds like fun, I guess. I've never really been hunting, but I'm sure I would enjoy it. Juliet's saying I started a YouTube series on carnivore. I think YouTube hates that word, or the viewers, or both, but I'm keeping it out there. Well, you see, Juliet, my opinion of it is completely opposite from yours. And I'll tell you why. I almost feel at this point that if I changed my channel to a carnivore channel, it would get more attention. Maybe not all good attention, but I see that carnivore channels are actually growing quicker than keto channels these days. So, but that's just my observation. Like I say, ultimately, I could probably do better if I took keto right out of the name of this channel and came up with something else, and it would still be a keto channel, but it wouldn't be branded as one, because I do not think the whole keto part is or the keto thing is as attractive as it used to be. And I think I was probably actually even about 2 years too late to that one. So, but I don't really know the true numbers about it all, but that's just what I've seen. So just giving you my 2 cents about it. But like you say, you're going to keep it up. You might as well, right? Like everything is, everything, as far as I'm concerned, like most content is good content. If it's something that brings any kind of value to anybody, then I would just stick with it. Coffee Walks and Whatever is here. Thanks for coming in. They posted a video this week of a sort of keto low-carb lasagna that looked really good. That was a great video. If you haven't seen that, that's I shared that on my community tab as well. It was looked really tasty for sure. Everyone's saying hi to Deb and OJ. Thank you for coming in. Let's make sure we're not missing anything here. I'm more of a ketovore, which is what I am, more or less. Like I do have vegetables. I still eat vegetables. In fact, the other night on Tuesday, we had, I made a big pile of chicken wings, but I also got some salad to go along with it. I definitely am not against salad or vegetables or anything, because it doesn't bother me at all. But for the most part, it's just protein that I have. So I would definitely, if I had to put a label on it, I would say more ketovore than anything. So, I don't want to change my channel name. I don't care about YouTube money. It's not about and people helping them feel. Yeah, yeah. No, I hear you, Amy. It's one of those things where it kind of comes down to thinking about what you want to put out there as far as what you're doing on YouTube, whether or not it doesn't matter what kind of content that you're putting out there. If you're sort of focused on entertaining people or helping people with their lifestyle, or helping people with their finances, like there's lots of different ways you can help the viewer. Helping viewers with technical assistance, helping people learn how to do YouTube. Like I think as long as you're focused on trying to help other people, then it does improve your chances of succeeding on the platform. At least that's my sort of take on it. Now, there's lots of channels out there that are basically 100% entertainment that do very well, but they don't always start off very well. Like a lot of times, it takes them quite some time to get to that place, right? So, but that's all just to say that we just have to do whatever we think is best for our channel, right? And if it means changing the name, if it means changing the content because you don't feel true to what you're doing, then you either have to start posting things you don't truly believe in, or you have to adjust to fit in or align with what your beliefs are. So I'm carnivore. My channel is labeled keto, but I want to help everyone. Low carb keto. Yeah. If they only eat dirt, I want to help. Yeah. And that's a good attitude for it. So yeah, that's definitely a good way to look at it, Amy. And again, as long as if you are focused on helping people in one way or the other, that's sort of the way I think you can succeed. I like Pete's channel. It helps me not spend money on scratchers and live vicariously through his channel. Yep. I hear you. You need to just do you with your channel. Be consistent, be authentic, and definitely be you. Yep. Yeah. Because people will see right through fake. And I think we've probably all learned that. And that's why you haven't and probably won't ever see me do much, vlogging type videos, because it's just not me. I'm not good at it. And I don't want to try and fake being good at it, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't want to try to force being good at something I'm not, because that's just a sure way to chase people away from watching the content. I like doing what I do. I like live streaming. Of course, 4 years ago, if you told me that on a Thursday night I'd be sitting here talking to a camera for an hour every Thursday night, I'd say you're crazy. But I enjoy hanging out with all of you, just chit-chatting every Thursday night. And then, I also like having other people on. That's always fun too. And then I like doing the recipe videos for the most part, because they're quick and easy. And I feel like that's my sort of best way to help people with their journey. So, or at least that's the best way that I can help them. So, viewers do not like fake. Of course, if you make mistakes on a live, don't hide it. They like to see you as someone infallible. Yep, for sure. I make lots of mistakes, and I've learned that they are appreciative to my not hiding that. Yep, for sure. And even like one of the other reasons that I sort of stick to the same kind of videos structure that you see for the most part, week after week. And again, maybe that's the fault in my sort of growth on the channel right now, is that I haven't changed things enough, and it's sort of gotten stale, in other words, kind of thing. But the way I like to do my videos, if everyone doesn't know, I record all my videos on a GoPro. So like I just use my GoPro to record my recipe videos. I've got it down to a pretty consistent recording sort of procedure. Like I know what pieces of the actual recipe I want to capture, and I know what I want to do for my intro, and so when I sit down to edit, I have all those pieces in place, and I just drop them in where they need to be, clean them up a little bit, add some text overlays and, transitions and all that stuff, so that I'm not spending a lot of time doing editing of unnecessary footage, right? Now, is that what's maybe hurting the channel, that I don't sort of expand? And, I've heard people say, well, maybe you could set up so that the camera's looking at me while I make the recipes. And yeah, I could do that. And I have done that in the past. But what I have found is that, generally speaking, when the camera is on me doing recipe videos, they're not very well received, or at least not as well received as what you normally see, which is just like my hands doing the recipe, and then I'm just doing like a voiceover or a live recording of audio at the same time. So again, maybe it's time to make a complete change and change the way I've set things up. And, that's why I'm hoping that this new series of doing recipes with, weird ingredients might help kickstart things a bit. So I'm not good at editing, so I don't. Just some of the uhs, which I do with every sentence. Yeah. And that takes a while too. And I think I'm the same way, Juliet, and it happens to me all the time as well. And I did at one point try to edit out all of those stumbles and all that. I guess it was just a matter of getting to a point where I was confident. Like I found when I was doing stuff like that was maybe when I wasn't so confident at what I was recording. Now I'm at the point where I don't really have that issue anymore, so I don't have to edit them out, but I completely get it. It's frustrating when you listen to it back and you get the ums and the ahs and all that stuff, and it's hard to get rid of. And you've got all these jump cuts in your videos because you're cutting little pieces out, right? Bloopers are always appreciated because they're just real life. Yep, for sure. And coffee walks and whatever is dropping their link. Yeah, if you have a channel, and I know a lot of you do, just type #Thrive in the chat, and Nightbot will drop your channel link for you. What really helped me is swapping playlists with people on Tuber Chat. Yeah, that can definitely help. The playlist swapping, as we say, is definitely a good way to gain some watch hours. But for me personally, I think it's more about solidifying support for other creators, right? So like if you watch a playlist or you run a whole channel for someone and you get to know that person through their content, and you're commenting back and forth on other people, each other's channels and videos and all that, I think that's what sort of solidifies that friendship between creators, which I've said in the past many, many times is I think a very important part about um, being a creator on YouTube is making those friendships with not just your viewers, which, uh, mean the world to me. All my viewers do, but also with other creators, because the supporting each other around this YouTube community is, I think helps everybody while we're trying to help ourselves grow, if you know what I mean. Cool. Yeah, did I miss something here? I admittedly don't watch a lot of my friends' videos just because I don't have time. What I need to do is create a watch friends playlist. Yep. And add videos to it and play it while I'm working. Yep. That's a good way to do it, Amy. If you just have because everybody has a watch later playlist already built in. So if you click on the dots on a video and add to playlist, there's already going to be a watch later playlist built for you. So you can just add it in there, and then you can just run that playlist whenever you need it. So get more into live streams. And I admittedly, in the same way too, I'm forever jumping into live streams and premieres and everything. I get into those a lot more than watching videos too. Everyone's catch up list for sure. And Coach Michael, as Jerry would say, Jerry from Carnivore Jerry. Yeah. And Nora was still here. Thanks for sticking around, Nora. Nora's been doing some live streaming lately of working out and doing burpees and stuff like that. So it's always fun. I toyed around with that thought as well. I might try doing some live streams, walking on the treadmill or working out with resistance bands and stuff like that. Again, I'm just trying to come up with sort of ideas that are different that I can, provide as quality content, because again, I don't want to just throw stuff out there and see what happens without sort of taking my time to figure out what's going to work and what's going to actually help people. Like I see around YouTube, there's a lot of different strategies with the way you run your channel nowadays that can help the growth of the channel quicker. We've all talked to someone or know someone that's using the promotion system through YouTube, which is a service YouTube provides, which I'd never use. But again, everybody's channel is their channel to do what they want with. A lot of creators are constantly live streaming in vertical format. So they're basically, all of their live streams are winding up on the shorts feed, which has its benefits and its drawbacks. The one benefit is if it gets on the shorts feed, then you can get a lot of viewers very quickly. Like you can get a very high amount of views on your live stream. Like I did one a couple of weeks ago that was regular landscape and vertical at the same time. The vertical live stream got 3 times as many views as the regular live stream, but only got about a third of the watch time. So, do with that with what you will, right? So the sort of drawback, and the one thing you have to keep in mind if you're going to do the vertical live streams, and Nora will probably agree with this, is that you want to make sure you have some quality moderators in your chat if you're going to do vertical live streams. Because if it does get onto the shorts feed, you will get trolls coming in. It's just unavoidable, unfortunately. There's really only 2 ways you can deal with it. You can either put on subscribers only mode so that people have to be subscribed before they can chat, or you leave it wide open and just leave it up to your moderators to deal with any of the bad comments and stuff like that. So and I see that there, Juliet. Yes, and I'll get to that point about the vertical live streams. It does attract new viewers, and you can grow your channel probably 2-3 times quicker using vertical live streams as far as numbers go. That does not and will not transmit into viewers of regular videos, though. And I'm not an expert in all of this, but I can pretty much guarantee that 99% of the new viewers you get while doing vertical live streams are not going to be consumers of your regular vertical content or your regular format or long form content. They may consume your shorts videos, which is great, but you have to understand that the people that are watching the shorts feed, a lot of those people just watch shorts, and that's it. They do not watch regular videos. So, okay, yeah, you may get a big boost in subscribers from vertical live streams, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate into higher views on your regular long form content. And unless you're getting 3 million views on your shorts, if you're actually care at all about making money on YouTube, you want the views and the watch time on your long form. So it's just things to keep in mind. Like I said, I'm just sort of talking about the different strategies that are being used out there to grow channels. Personally, I like to just stay consistent as I can, do a live stream a week, do a video every week. My issue, I think, is I just have to change things up a little bit. It may just be getting stale, and hopefully in the new year things will pick up a little bit. So Michael dislikes any vertical. And like I say, I don't really watch much vertical either, to be honest with you. If I'm watching vertical anything, it's reels anyway. It's not shorts. And I hate doing shorts too, because all they really do is get nasty comments. So coffee walks, whatever, they don't care for vertical lives, right? And again, it works for some people. And I don't want to say that, you shouldn't do vertical lives. By all means, do what works for your channel, right? It's just a strategy. I did it once with that video a couple of weeks ago. I would probably never do a dedicated vertical live stream. That's just I don't find any benefit in that for me. But again, all we can do is what's best for our channels. I would have to figure out if Talk Studio will do both vertical and horizontal. I know StreamYard does. Yeah, StreamYard is now allowing you to do both formats at the same time, which, it's a good tool. It was a good experiment for that one time to see what kind of difference I saw. The one thing I will sort of put out there about doing 2 different live streams at the same time is that it's really confusing for your video or for your viewers, because they may only get notified of one of them. So you've got viewers in your regular live stream and you've got viewers in your vertical live stream. Even with StreamYard, they cannot see each other's comments. So you may be talking about something going on in one live stream, and people in the other live stream are like, well, what are they talking about? I don't see that, right? So again, just something to be aware of. So one of my biggest mistakes was putting out shorts that got tons of subs, but these shorts were not about my niche at all. So double whammy. And non-engaged subs. Yeah. And that's just another thing you have to keep in mind when you're doing shorts. A lot of shorts, if you looked at my shorts playlist, it started off with just, hey, this is what I'm cooking on the barbecue. And it would be a 5-second short. Those are the only ones I ever kind of did. And then I started doing shorts that were basically snippets from my regular videos that sort of push people to my videos. And I even spent time editing them, trying to make them look nice and everything. And they didn't really do much. But yes, that is a risk you take, putting out sort of shorts that are just random and not necessarily about your channel directly, is that because you will get a bunch of subscribers, but they're not going to come back for your regular content. So definitely good information there. Let's pioneer a diagonal live stream target at people. No doubt, eh? You could probably rotate the screen so that people are watching on their phone laying down. Let's see here. Anyone from North Austin? Up to Gerald in chat. If we get much, I know we'll be looking for people to receive some meat. Oh, cool. That's why I didn't like dual streaming horizontal vertical, because I hopped into someone's stream that had 2 streams. It was confusing. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely. It's nice that StreamYard allows you to do both, but to be honest with you, I would think you're probably better off to do one or the other. It's definitely nice that StreamYard, like even I know last week when we had 4 of us up on the panel here, or 4 channels here, Matt from Matt and Mouse set up his, because they were streaming that conversation on their channel as well. And I think he had it in both horizontal and vertical. And it had like all 4 channels on a vertical live stream. Like I can't imagine just how small the windows were on that, but it's definitely doable. But these are just things to keep in mind when you're trying to make the best decisions for your channel. Feral Grandma is saying if anyone's in their area, they might get lots of meat. That would be cool. Everyone's saying they wish they would. Can you smoke venison? Probably. I would assume so. Yeah, you could pack it in dry ice and ship it. Yeah, ever since I got my vacuum sealer and my vacuum sealing bags, I've been vacuum sealing everything. It's crazy. And John's asking about the objects behind me. Let's see. So one of them that's a Tuber Chat mug that I got from Kevin. And then this was one from one of my long-time friends on YouTube. He made me this little cutting board with my Keep On Thriving logo on it. So that's sort of one of the things. And it's just sort of random stuff, like I've got my badges from Ketopalooza, and I've got, stickers from other channels, and really just random stuff, puzzles, and, the box from my, I've got up here, this box that's up here is just the box from my Neewer, and it's just like a wireless microphone set. And like it's just random junk that I wind up putting on the shelf. And then I've just got some little rechargeable puck lights that are LED lights that I can change colors. I thought that would be fun to put in there with like red and green for Christmas kind of thing. So yeah, that's basically all I've got up there. And then sort of over here, I don't know if I can point at it, this little hand here that's holding my wristbands. That's a little posable hand that you can buy at IKEA. Usually they're the ones that you go to the section and all the kids have, set it up, giving people the finger kind of thing. So it's got posable fingers and stuff like that. So I've just got it holding some of my wristbands up there kind of thing. So, let's see. Yep. Yeah, that was cool, Lynn. Yeah, he did just something he did one day. Like he's into, that's Brett from Cool to Know. He lost that channel, so he started something different. But yeah, just one day it showed up. I was like, hey, that's cool. Thanks for the optimism, I guess. Unless I go out and I buy the subscribers, I'm not sure that that's going to happen for quite a while. But we have some room here or here for a plaque one of these days. Ketopalooza 2026, absolutely. I have not heard anything, any more details about Ketopalooza yet. But yeah, hopefully we hear something about it, but I'm definitely have it on the radar for next year. Was definitely missing it this year. We did wind up with a great big long vacation, but I was enjoying going to Kentucky every October. So yep, Lynn's got some of the wristbands. Definitely got a whole bunch of those left too. So I would send some to everybody. I may, one of those things where it's costing so much to send stuff nowadays. Like, and even if you, like, even to send some of these and like keychains and stuff like that, it's so expensive. Even to send it within Canada, it's just crazy how expensive it is to mail stuff these days. To my taste, venison wants some salt and a bit of acid, juice or vinegar. Wild hogs are different from farmed pork, way lean, and flavor varies more. Cool. If I was a creator and got one of those plaques, I'd probably wear it around my neck. I'd be so shocked, right? Tickets go on sale in January. They will sell fast. Yeah, they usually do. Absolutely, but there will probably be 2 or 3 channels offering discount codes too. So keep an eye out for that as well. See if you can get a break on the price. But yeah, if you want to go to Ketopalooza, I would definitely make sure you keep an eye on the website and maybe sign up for notifications and stuff like that, because yes, you're right, they do sell out fast. So Michael's saying he keep his on the dashboard of his car. Yeah, no doubt. John is going to sign off for the night. Thank you for being here, John, and for gifting that membership. I really appreciate being here. Dr. John Smith's been a long-term supporter, and he was the sort of inspiration behind the last video that actually went viral on this channel with his pretzel chaffle. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go look for that one. It was a lot of fun. Does Amazon ship to Canada from the US? They do, sort of. It's one of those things where you would have to sign up for, or not necessarily sign up, but you'd have to go on to Amazon Canada and purchase something through that site and then ship it from there. You can't ship direct from Amazon.com. You would have to be on Amazon.ca. Sort of that's how I've done giveaways with like Amazon gift cards in the past, so that if people were in different countries, I would just log into whatever site they use for Amazon and send them a gift card from that site. So I think that's kind of how it works. So missed 2 days. Okay, make sure not missing anything. Doing a giveaway on Sunday for hitting first monetization, but need to know if I can include Canada and other countries. Yeah, it depends on what you're giving away, Amy. If it's just gift cards, you can include Canada. Keep in mind that there's all sorts of different exchanges and all that kind of stuff that go on with it. If you're doing hard goods, unless you are sort of planning on shipping them directly from yourself, then I would probably limit it to the US only, like Feral Graham was saying. It just makes it easier, to be honest with you. For the most part, I have included the US with my giveaways. And it's weird. I've shipped Dash Minis to people in Canada, and I've shipped Dash Minis to people in the US, and it really doesn't cost me that much more to ship it to people in the US. It's just ridiculous the way it's so expensive to ship or mail things around Canada. But if you're doing your first giveaway, you're probably better off just to limit it to the US. Then you don't wind up disappointing anyone if something comes up, kind of thing. And then, yes, inbound and, US has a few things that you have to be aware of too when you're sending stuff. But again, the simpler, the better for your first giveaway, for sure. So you hit your 500 subs and 3,000 hours of watch time. That's amazing. So that is cool. I will definitely, if it's on at 7 p.m. Eastern, it'll be sort of at the same time as Anita's live stream, but I'll try and remember and sort of bounce back and forth and come say hi for sure. And then, yeah, Juliet and Doug are on right before that as well. And then I'll have, like I say, I'll have a premiere. It'll probably wind up being like 20, 25 minutes at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday as well. Just the weekly recap of the puzzles. So that's awesome. Been a good talk this week. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed the live stream. Again, thanks so much for the gifted memberships from Juliet and Dr. John Smith this week. That was amazing. I do appreciate the generosity. It's always amazing to see. I did see something here. I'd love to see some recipes on how to use some of your chaffles, and of course recipes without chaffles. I'm not very creative. Yeah, and I'm absolutely. It's one of my sort of things I want to do more of in the next year, kind of thing, is to sort of branch out into some different recipes. I know the channel has specifically been built on chaffle recipes. If you want to put it into perspective, I've released how many videos this month already? 20, 21, 22 videos, kind of thing. And my onion ring chaffle video has gotten more views this month than all 20 of those videos combined. So the Chaffle thing has been responsible for building this channel, but I want to definitely expand it into other things. So definitely watch for some different content to go along with that. So I'll be doing multitasking then. Yep, for sure. Lots going on Sunday nights for sure. I get more views grilling in the snow. Yes, it's crazy. At the same time as Anita, I have a hard time finding a good time. Don't even worry about it, Amy. It's one of those things. You find your time and your audience will be with you, right? That's all you can do. You know, I've picked this night and other people have run live streams at the same time, and I don't worry about it too much. You know, everybody has their audience and all you can do is pick the right time for it. So cool. Well, again, thanks for everyone being here. I appreciate everyone watching and commenting on the puzzle videos every morning. It makes it worthwhile doing for sure. And then again, we'll have the recap video on Sunday night, and then we'll wrap up the puzzle videos on the 24th, and then do another recap of the full 24 days on the 24th in the evening. We probably won't, well, I won't say won't, but I would not think that I'll be live streaming next Thursday on Christmas Day. Probably be too busy. So, but maybe we'll get something going on later on in the weekend, and then I'm off work the whole next week. So, you know, maybe we'll do some fun stuff during that week with live streams or whatever. So I recommend those, like I do the vegan repair kit cartoons. Yeah, everyone have a good night. And yeah, we'll see you at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning Eastern for, what are we on? Day 19 of the Great Puzzle Mystery. So again, thanks for watching that. Thanks for being here. As always, keep on thriving, my friends.